There's a reason that your team stalls, drifts, and keeps missing the same targets. And it's not a lack of talent, it's a lack of tension, but not emotional tension, but commitment tension. The kind that makes you show up because you said you would. It's the kind that burns away excuses because there's someone that's waiting for a result. You can't lead a high performance team if later is still part of your culture. But accountability isn't about control. It's about creating a system where do it now becomes normal. It's the way we do things. I'm Chris Hunsaker, and this is the Dealership War Room. Leadership fire, 7 minutes. Built daily, fueled intentionally, and delivered relentlessly. So let's dive in to how do you build that system where do it now does become your new normal. Most leaders think accountability means pressure, but the research says something entirely different. If someone will just make a public commitment, then the odds of their success jumps to 65%. Now, add a check-in or a follow-up with a trusted advisor, a leader, or a friend, and that success rate skyrockets to 95%. And I'm sure you can prove this. There's something that you made a public commitment you were going to do. You got to the point where you didn't want to do it, but someone called you and said, hey, did you get that done? And you knew the check-in was coming, so boom, you broke through and got it done. That's not management theory, it's neuroscience. Because visibility takes that switch and it flips the switch from dread to reward inside your brain. And now you go from the dread of not letting yourself down to the drive of not letting others down. Because there's a truth that says we will all do far more for others than we'll ever do for ourselves. Here's what that looks like inside your store. Step 1, declare it out loud. Say it out loud. In sales, that would look like we're going to have 5 fresh ups before noon. In service, we're going to close 12 ROs before 2 p.m. In the BDC, we're going to make 50 calls before our first break. What it does is it takes what's invisible and makes it visible, and therefore it has power. 2 is track it where everyone can see it. Your scoreboard is your conscience. And it doesn't have to be fancy. It could be a whiteboard. It could be a dashboard in your software. It could be just something on a shop wall. Daniel Pink calls this social pressure in the mix. But your brain reads it as importance because what's public gets prioritized, but what's private gets postponed. Step 3, create rituals for follow-through because accountability only works when the loop closes. Think end-of-day check-ins or 5-minute recap texts or even quick team reviews. No blame, no drama, just data. Because when your team knows that someone is looking, then procrastination loses its hiding spot. Step 4, lead with care, not fear. Because accountability with empathy builds trust. It's you saying to your people, I believe in you enough to hold you accountable to your word. Because fear-based accountability, all that does is drive compliance. But trust-based accountability, that drives ownership. And here's the hidden win. As accountability tightens, emotional friction drops. Your people stop arguing with the task and they start competing against their own potential. Because when expectations are clear, procrastination has nowhere to live. Before you go, if you're ready to install this kind of trust-driven accountability into your store, then text the word procrastination to the number that's on your screen and download this week's custom GPT that's going to absolutely help you crush procrastination in yourself and in your team. I'll show you how to launch the commitment cascade from self to team to culture and make follow-through almost automatic. Now, here's your execution bridge. Pick one area where later has been allowed to live. Then declare the new standard in public, assign a name and a time, and then close the loop tomorrow. Because accountability isn't a whip, it's a mirror. And great leaders aren't afraid to look straight into it. You can't fix what you hide, and you can't transform what you tolerate. But the moment that you make your commitments visible, that's when you move from potential to proof. And that's how your team stops drifting and starts delivering. So today, go out, create some leadership fire, and I'll see you tomorrow in the Dealership War Room.